Hello, welcome back to the master bedroom. If you recall, a couple weeks ago, I moved a TV in here when I got a new TV in the other room. Well, this is a 3D TV, but I have no 3D sources in here. And while I have a lovely 3D Blu-ray player in the other room, I didn't want to move it in here, so I have bought a new Blu-ray player. So we're going to unbox and install, and then I will review the Sony UBP-X700 Blu-ray player. 4K 3D Blu-ray player. Now, you may say to yourself, now, wait, what? I thought this was the 21st century. We stream everything now. Yes, we do. Let's say you have a couple of hundred 3D Blu-rays on the shelf in the other room, or 100 or so 4K Blu-rays that you acquired. Or going back farther in time, you have a whole bunch of regular Blu-rays that you bought over the years. And then going back farther in time, you have a whole bunch of DVDs that you bought over time. Oh, and you also, because you had this player that could play all these things, you got some SuperAudio CDs, which are a really amazing format, which, you know, only Sony ever really supported, and yeah, it's dead. But if you have them, you need something that can play them, and this Sony player plays it. This UBP-X700 plays 4K Blu-rays, 3D Blu-rays, regular Blu-rays, and then BD-ROMs and, you know, BD-ROM L, and, you know, the recordable ones. It'll play all those. Then it also will play all your DVD formats and DVD-ROM and DVD-L, you know, that you burn yourselves, plus all CDs. Well, I'm going to put it on, I'll have it all here on the screen so you can see all the things it'll play. But it'll play almost anything. And by the way, and because you can stick it has a USB port, you can stick things in and it'll play, you know, JPEGs, and again, I'll have it all on the screen for you and in the description down below. Well, let's get to the unboxing. Let's see what's in this box. Oh, notice also multi-region. And, oh, this is also region-free. Blu-rays, and including 3D Blu-rays, although less so over time, but we're specific to regions. So if you got one from Europe, it wouldn't play on an American player. And that was true for DVDs, Blu-ray. Well, this player has been modified. There'll be a link down below where I got it. I got it off of Amazon, but it's a third-party seller who buys the Sony players and then modifies them to make them region-free, which is probably technically illegal, and you could probably get sued, but they're not going to go after all the... Here we go. There's not a lot to it. It's just a Blu-ray player. Now notice on the back it says multi-region, dual voltage. It also will do streaming. It does, I think it says on the box here that Netflix, YouTube, it has some apps built in. So it connects to the internet. I believe it also has Wi-Fi. It's an HDMI, oh, and ARC, audio only. So it has HDMI in and then an ARC out. It has a digital out RCA plug, coax, not an optical, which is unusual. And then, of course, where you plug it in. And that's really all there is to it. There's an eject button and a thing, and a power button. Now, also in the box, of course, will be the manual. See, and here's the thing, hardware modified for multi-region. These players have been opened only to be modified for region-free capability. They are brand new players. It'll do all Blu-ray zones A, B, and C, and it'll do all DVD regions 1 through 6. Anyway, it has some instructions. And then, of course, the Sony manual. And then down at the bottom, we have a little tiny remote, an HDMI cable, and the power brick. Oh, And because it's, again, remember it was 240, I have a power adapter so you can plug it in to a 240, you know, a European system. And the batteries for the remote. Okay. So now I'm going to hook this all up, and you don't need to see all that, and then we will come back and we will look at what's going on the screen. By the way, in preparation for this, I ran another HDMI cable through the wall, so I'm not using the cable that came with it. Here we go, 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray player. Choose my language, that would be English. Okay, I'm never going to do that. Please use a high-speed cable. Yes, I did that. So I will connect it by hardwire when this is all done. But for now, I'm using the Wi-Fi. Which, by the way, the Wi-Fi, the router is on the other side of this wall, right next to it. So if I don't get a good signal here, there's something really seriously wrong. Oh, okay. I guess you kind of have to use my IP address. There we go. And as you can see, it is also a streaming device. Now, I will never use it as a streaming device because I also have both a TiVo, which is also a streaming device, and a Roku attached to this TV. And Roku, of course, is one of the best streaming devices you can get. But we do have YouTube and all this other stuff. You can add your apps. Well, you can read. Now you can see here, this is if there was a disc inserted, this would light up. If you stick in a USB, connect it to USB or thumb drive or a real USB drive, you can then view things on there. Or this apparently looks like AirPlay because that looks like a small screen. Our demo disc today will be Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets, which is a 4K Ultra HD. Amazon sold the box set they had a sale, I think it was like 60 or so. So basically it's like 10 bucks a disc. So I bought it. Just press play. That should light up. The amazing thing is the PS3 will still load a Blu-ray faster than any other living device. Nothing else is as fast. Changing the ultra deep. Well, this is exciting. Let's restart the TV, shall we? Well, I don't know what's going on here with this ultra deep, but I'm going for it. Restart. Yes, the TV I replaced, my new LG replaced my old LG. This TV does support Dolby Vision, and allegedly so does this Blu-ray player, but I do not believe this is in Dolby Vision. Probably a copyright thing, so never mind. We're not going to actually watch this. You get the idea. So here we got Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. I know I've done some terrible unboxings, but this might be worst unboxing ever because there's nothing to this. You just plug it in and it works. I will go away now for a while and play with it and use it so that I can give you my review. Do I think it was good? Well, like, because I can't show you the 3D. I mean, I can test the 3D, but you won't see it. And again, copyright. Anything I could show you would be copyright. So I can't show you anything on the screen really. So I'll just come back and talk to you about it. Here's the problem. I mean, it works fine. I've watched 4K. I've watched HDR Blu-rays. I've watched Dolby Vision Blu-rays, and 3D Blu-rays. But here's the problem. You have to go into the device settings, the Blu-ray device's settings, and turn on Dolby Vision output in order to have Dolby Vision work off of Blu-rays that support Dolby Vision. But notice it says here, well, I don't know if you can read this, so I'll read it to you. When Dolby Vision output is set to on, which it must be in order for you to get Dolby Vision, video settings is unavailable during playback. Now you say, well, okay, so I can't change my video settings during playback. Yes, one of the video settings is 3D, which means if Dolby Vision is on, you can't watch 3D. In fact, But if I click on OK here, if I put it to on, it will even come up and say, 3D playback function are unavailable. Well, video settings enter. I know it sounded like the verb didn't agree, but it did. But yeah, so in other words, and by the way, again, remember this is my crappy TV because it's got the backlight issue over here with the dark stripe. So, and the main reason I got it was to do 3D. So if I want to watch something in 4K, Dolby Vision, I can do it with the Oppo BDP-203 that I have in the living room attached to the much better TV, so that where the Dolby Vision will be much more apparent. Whereas in here, the Dolby Vision output is really not going to help that much again. And so I really, this TV is primarily to be available for 3D, so I'm going to have to turn this off. It's unfortunate, but again, in my particular situation, it's not a big deal. Now, your particular situation may be a whole nother thing. And you may not want to have to, and by the way, you can only do that when the disc is ejected. So you have to eject the disc and go change it and then so it's kind of a pain in the ass. So this is my one downvote on this particular device. Well, it's also slow to load, but of course that's because I'm comparing it to the PS3 and the Oppo, which you have much faster processors in them. It's fine. It'll do everything it says it'll do. It'll play all the formats it says it'll play, except with the problem of if you set it up to watch Dolby Vision, then your 3D disc will not work automatically. You have to go and manually change this, and vice versa. If you have it set so you can watch 3D, well then when you want to watch Dolby Vision, you're going to have to go back into the settings and turn this off and on. If it were a toggle available higher up in the menus, that would be one thing, but having it all the way down here, where you have to go into settings and then screen settings and then Dolby Vision output and then select on or off, I'm not a fan. But let's see, let's list all the other 3D 4K Blu-ray players with Dolby Vision that you can buy. Okay, we're done. Oppo stopped making them, so you can't get the Oppo anymore. Sony still does it because, of course, Sony was big into 3D. They sold a lot of 3D TVs, so they really want to. And again, this does SuperAudio CD, which is a format that Sony pushed heavily that never really caught on, but they still support it. So I got to give Sony props for supporting 3D and Dolby Vision and SuperAudio CD. Now, they don't do it all well because of this nonsense, but they do it all. It does support all these things. So I have to give Sony some props. This is a good product. And by the way, it's the region-free version. I think region-free adds like 80 or 90 bucks. But it's like I think 150 regular, and it's like 240 something. It'll be in the links down below. So I can't really give it a 100% recommendation. Although if you need a 4K Blu-ray player with Dolby Vision, there aren't a lot to pick from. And if you need one with 3D and 4K and Dolby Vision, well, I think this may be one of the only ones. I mean, do your own research, but I looked around. And again, for region free, this is the only one I could find. And back in the day, those of you who didn't do this, but when 3D was the thing, a lot of the 3D Blu-rays came from overseas. In fact, you can still get, I just got Spider-Man Far From Home on 3D Blu-ray from England. And I think that one is region free, but earlier on they were, so in fact, the disc I tested this with, which was Terminator 2 3D, which was a 3D conversion done by Studio Canal in France. So this is a French Blu-ray. Well, it's French region, it's a region 2 or B. But because this is a region free player, I can play it. But if I didn't have a region free, I could not play it. So if you want region free, again, I think this is one of the only ones that you can get off of Amazon that's region free and 3D and 4K. So I can't give it, 5 stars, but I can give it 4. It's a 4-star. I mean, it's a great little product for not too much money. And if in the B-roll earlier in the video, you saw all the discs I have. So I have an awful lot of content I can play on this thing. So, and that doesn't even count. It can also stream, although who would use it for streaming when you have other things? Now, what this does bring up is I now have 4 remotes in my master bedroom, right? I have the TV remote, I have the Blu-ray remote, I have the TiVo remote, and I have the Roku remote. 4 remotes sitting on my nightstand. Well, that brings up the video for next week where I go in search of a universal remote, especially now that Logitech doesn't make Harmony remotes anymore, which was, everyone said, the ultimate universal remote. Everybody said you need one remote to replace a bunch of remotes, get a Harmony. It's the only way to go. Well, they don't make them anymore. And I think they're eventually going to drop support for, that you have to hook them up to the computer. So I will be reviewing a different universal remote that does not require plugging it into your computer and everything. And so that will be coming up next week or the week after, sometime soon. That is the Sony Blu-ray player. Yeah, it's kind of, it's disappointing, but on the other hand, it does everything it says it'll do. It doesn't do it elegantly. And I'm a big fan of elegant. So what can you say? That's it for today. I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.